like that right now, man. Respectfully, I'm not feeling that kind of vibe right now, brother. I'm not feeling that kind of vibe. I did an hour ago. Now my vibe is gone. Where you at with yours, man? Main event, Lang Smoke. What's my main event? We're not talking about Wise and Reggie P.
No, I was saying they should have titled the event Bad News Endgame because he ended up getting his Rex battle. But I mean, in terms of Endgame in general, I don't know.
Jones battle and a possible Series Jones
battle. Yeah. This is treacherous, man. I was one of the people that was holding out hope, right? Because there's people that was speculating that the battle may not happen because he didn't show up to the face off last night. And I've seen plenty of times where like the main event face off didn't happen, but they still had to battle, whatever. So I wasn't on that type of time. But the fact that it isn't happening, it kind of does. And I feel bad for John because I know that in this event he had a lot of integrity because he was very he was very upfront and straightforward about a lot of stuff, whether the face off not happening yesterday or in the time before and whatnot. I know it was a situation where John was actually doing the best in his power to make all this stuff work, especially with this being like one of his last major events he plans on making. We know battlers when it comes to retirement, whatever. But I feel bad because this is one of the times where I feel like he's going to get pushed back for this event not going correctly, and it's actually not his fault this time. And when it comes to Cassidy, man, I mean, I would be lying if I said I was excited for him battling John, but at the same time, I do feel like when you have like such a huge figure in the culture that's coming back to battle, I mean, it just gives this event a major blow. It's a lot more hoopla about them not battling in the actual event. And I feel like that's the worst thing about it is that like it takes away from the overall event in terms of and just in terms of just like the reception of the event in general. I feel like a lot of people are going to be walking away talking about that battle as opposed to Clone battling Tay Rock or Serious Jones battling Loso. Like there's still other stuff that could be talked about.
You know what the main event, and that's the problem. This is dirt. This is just no other way to put it. And I'll tell you what, I gotta agree that I said this earlier to 3. John doesn't have the benefit of the doubt with the people. You know what I'm saying? Because of prior actions, so he's gonna get met with some form of, and that's heavy as the league owner's crown, for their league. Like you got to deal with it, even though we all know the unprofessionalism goes far beyond what makes it out to the blog waves and stuff. So we know it's not always up to the league owners, but he's got to wear that. But the main focus obviously should be that what Cassidy's doing here. I think this is clear disrespect. I just think he looked at this as a play, and there's going to be a million excuses. You know what I'm saying? I got a music video here. I got sick this day. You know what I'm saying? Getting sick, but might be asking people to put the battle somewhere else. Little shit like that is very bothersome. And I just feel bad because at the end of the day, even though I disagree with John on a lot of different topics, he's put a lot of money into this. He's trying to make something happen here. And at the end of the day, that's trying to better the culture. How he's talking about putting people in a position to win. And I relate to that, I respect that mindset. So I just think it's garbage what's happening to him. And especially an event that he put his all in. We shouldn't have booked Cassidy before. He's a spectacle because he talks shit, not for anything he does in the ring. He's terrible. And now he's done that out of the ring too with the way he's approaching the business. And there's word that he might have another battle coming up or something like that. I saw that on Easy or Frozen stream. That's my personal doomsday. That's my personal apocalypse. We do not need to see Cassidy rap anymore in this lifetime. So that's my thoughts on Cassidy backing out.
Tell us how you really feel, Smo.
No, I was also going to say, like, to Smo's point in terms of just like the marketing side of it, right? But one thing I was able at one point prior to this time, able to accredit Cassidy for was his professionalism. Because I actually think that when it came to being professional, when it comes to battles and stuff like that, like rarely was he not promoting. Rarely was it a situation where he wasn't holding his end of the bargain. Now, not only are we not getting good raps, not only are we not getting good face off, but we're not getting a battle at all. It kind of just takes away my I don't know. It is frustrating.
Question: were you gentlemen shocked last night? He did not show up to the face-off.
Very. I was. I mean, I knew it was like a weird rollout, right? Especially, and me and Smo was talking about this earlier. I know he had like this weird interview with Hip Hop Is Real. You know what I'm saying? And if circumstances are exactly what he's saying it is, condolences to the loss he's going through and whatnot. But the energy in that video, that interview did seem off or whatever. But I was like, well, he's gonna at least make it to this face off because he knew he got a lot of blowback from not doing the other one, right? So when he doesn't do the other one, I'm just like, oh, this is not looking good. So I was actually surprised he didn't make the other one.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when it rains, it pours in battle rap. So once you see one or two things getting strange and going wrong, I'm afraid to tell you the third and fourth thing are also probably going to get strange and go wrong. So by the time that we got there, first of all, we're having face-offs at 9 p.m. at night on the coast where the battle's happening. And I already saw the energy when John was up here talking to 3, where he's like, we're trying to make it happen. That's not we're locked and loaded and we got face-offs. That's we're trying to make it happen. Mm-hmm. With an hour delay from the start, we knew before that stream cut on that there's a very good chance somebody wouldn't be there. And now somebody's not there, not just for the face-off, but the day for the event. So we continue to play building up.
Both of you brothers got intelligent brains when it comes to battle rap. Did it shock you at all that the first face-off we had was Clone and Tay-Rock?
In the middle of the card, yeah.
Danny Myers and Reggie P should be the first face-off. Y'all know how this goes down the line. Hey, what battle do you guys want to see us first? Smack, we know which battle you got. We got itinerary already, my brother. We know, okay? The itinerary for the face-off is probably Danny Myers, Reggie P. And I got to say this. I feel leagues moving forward, I said this in the blog, they should not be flying these cats out here the evening of a face-off. They should be either the morning or the day before. No Rex?
Yeah. Okay, no cat. So by the time we got to last night, I feel like it's clearly disorganized. You know, the day before face-offs were like a staple with URL. That's good for the second or third face. I mean, if we're talking in the perfect world, we should have had pre-recorded face-offs. So that's really where the fuck wrong and how we end up here. But now you got, only some of them. I'm seeing the promotion for the card from almost everyone on it has been lackluster. That goes for Rex.
We promoted this shit more than they did, fellas.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand. So it's just there's so many. It's one of those situations that so much stuff is kind of like to point the blame at. It's all over the place. It's a mess. Obviously, I'm most disgusted with Cassidy in this situation until we get something else alarming. I'd still be disgusted with him because I'd have to hear him rap either way. But the rest of the card, it's been a disaster, and I hate to see it. I just hope the event itself is pretty solid because the promotional run from top to bottom has just been, even the face-off, like Rock and Clone's face-off wasn't very good. Shout out to them. Very talented. 2 of the top 20 battle rappers this year. But their face-off, like, we came there.
Jones and Loso wasn't that good either. Jones and Bad News is a better face-off than Jones and Loso to me.
They're not battling. They're not battling each other, man. How's that work? Where they do that at? So that's what's going on. Hopefully the event's good, though. I'm still rooting for the event to be good, and I think they're still good on the card. But it's just unfortunate that this noise, even if the battles are good, you've already got this going into it. And that's not right.
Losing the main event. When's the last time we lost the main event? You guys got quick on your feet.
I don't know. A crazy main event like this, I'm thinking of like when Surf and Cortez couldn't happen. I know that was like but that was a different circumstance, whatever. But I just remember like everybody being like super disappointed in that because the event was good. You were given Avin, Danny, Calico and Chess, Lucastro and Clips, and then all of a sudden the skirmish happened. They can't have the main event. That's the last time I seen like a main event of like somewhat of this magnitude not happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, smaller cards lose their main events a little more often. I know beginning of 2022, 2023, I remember there was like a streak back when, the Loso and Hustle situation.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of like marquee, like, cause this isn't just any other battle, third, fourth battle, when Verb and Series fell through or whatever, like this is, you pay Cassidy a lot of goddamn money to come perform.
Yeah.
So it's a different level of business, even if you got it on a discount, like some people are making up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So for this, I agree. You just don't see battles this big get this unprofessional that often.
John lowered the price now to $45.
It's a good, but you got to discount it. What can he do to look right in this situation? He's going to look bad no matter what. I feel so. Shout out to him going for the discount. He has to. You know what I mean? But
so Lang, what do you say to the people? To the people that say John, respectfully, John, don't kill us. We just doing our job here. That's saying that he might got wind of it. Knew that Cassidy was going to battle. But was trying. Is that fair to John when people go in that bag with him because of the Mr. Fab situation?
I mean, it sucks, right? Because I'm not one to speculate, especially with stuff like this. But again, it's just unfortunate because he he went through like this cycle where like last year he started off hot with like good events and stuff like that, and then you had two back-to-back events where like battles wasn't going down, especially with the Mr. Fab event. Again, it's track record, and it's also what we've seen before. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, right? But at the same time, I mean, John can't really fault people feeling that way, especially if like we've seen instances like this happen before. Um, so yeah, I'm personally not going into that bag of me assuming that he knew what was going to transpire. Especially with like an event like this where paid a pretty penny to Cassidy for him to be a main anchor of this event. So I'm pretty sure that like he caught one the same time we did. So yeah.
So, do you think John and Cassidy spoke throughout this whole battle?
Well, I mean, he said, so we can only go off his word, right? So in terms of, he said that there was good communication the whole time. I think he said that on here where he's like, we had, like, it's not like Cass it's a ghosted situation, right? So there's always been like a line of communication. He did try to set up preset face-offs. Obviously, there was an effort here to get it done late. And as far as I know, right, and I don't like to talk about everything here, but as far as I've heard, right, he really got canceled more than enough. Like, he really just got put in the fight. And it is, well, what's my word? You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it from someone far more important, probably here by the end of the day or in the next couple of days. However, as far as I know, he the one thing I will say, and I know that, I think once again, I saw Easy make a point on his stream about this earlier. We was talking about when the Verb Sirius situation was going on with him, and he saw it going in that direction.
He did
it ahead of time. He said, I'm not even going to leave it up for chance because it's my league. I'm going to at least give people you can't really do the same with a bigger business situation here. So I don't really know how you avoid it, even if he did kind of know a couple days earlier, right? But he's dropped the price. He told people before it went down that's more than we've seen recently from some find out after the event. That's not how that's supposed to work. But I just think that he got put, even if he's got stuff to be blamed for before, and we've probably all had rants about bullpen, it is looking like this one was something that was out of his hands, but we won't know for sure until probably later today.
And one thing I want to say because I feel like we have a subculture here, so I'm going to address them directly. Right. Let's not use this as an excuse to bootleg the event. I'm already seeing the play here where it's like, oh, well, they're ripping us, so we should rip. No, let's not do that, please. Like, this is a completely different situation. That this shouldn't be used as a way out to kind of like pretty much bootleg an event. Let's not do that, please. Like that's a whack way of looking at it. And that's the way that's doing stuff like that is going to keep us from preserving the culture that we need for us to have battles like this. So let's not do that, please.
Let me ask you fellas a question. Do you guys want this battle? Two-part question. Do you guys want the battle rescheduled? And do you think Hitman should pick this battle up?
I know. I mean,
I just throw it out there, brother.
I mean, listen, money's been paid. Here's another thing that people don't like, even if you don't like a battle. Once he already sent those front payments and everything, we got to get this shit done because we're playing with people's money. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Do I want the battle? No, I didn't ever want the battle. But if the money's been put out and we got business down, it has to be finished. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
finish the objective. Like,
I think it could poison such a beautiful thing we have with power moves. But wherever it's going to go down, I think John's going to smoke them. So hopefully, you would want bullpen to get that league. It's a bullpen paid battle. So hopefully they can figure out something where at least they break even with the situation. I personally don't want it on power moves though.
Yeah, I think it should be his own situation, honestly. John will probably smoke him even worse now. It probably added fuel to the fire. But at the end of
according to Reed Dollars and Calico, I mean he has some bars. I mean JC and Danny Myers saw the same bullshit before, right? And we saw that transpired and everything like that. So I don't know, man. Listen, I just wanted to hear what Cassidy had to say. Yes, I know it's gonna be a shit show. Am I expecting him to wow me? Well, according to the culture, some people think he stepped it up against Hitman.
I was more interested in seeing. I think I was more interested in seeing what John had to say because out of all his battles, I feel like this is the one he had. Well, rightfully so was Cassidy, but I feel like this is the one he did a lot of promotion for, a lot of interviews for, saying that he's going to body him worse than anyone else has. Yes. Which a lot of battlers say that, right? So you got to take that with a grain of salt. But I was kind of curious. I mean, with what John has been giving us lately this year, I was kind of curious to see what he had to say and how he was going to approach the battle. I was more or less excited to see what he had to say, and for the battle not to happen is just kind of bogus. But I mean, and I'm also thinking of the standpoint of like, hopefully it can happen in somewhat of a good situation, because a lot of us with these Cody projections, man, we were projecting him to be pretty high, and because this battle was a part of the resume for him. This was a part of like his itinerary that he had to close out the year, and I think it for sure is a major blow if this battle happens as like a one off somewhere in like some sneaker store, or two, if the battle doesn't happen at all. That's just a terrible thing, and then kind of out of his hands. So,
how much has it hurt John and Cody?
well, like I just mentioned, like this is a huge blow, a huge blow. I feel like
can you battle Fonz?
because
I would have liked. And it's funny because like Cassidy, when we break down, we've never actually had to break down a Cassidy battle on the panel before. But in terms of like how I'm already envisioning it, that's a battle that's big for impact. Like it would like climb him in those which you could already argue is high up there. People are putting his name up there, but it would add to that. It's not really going to add to strength of schedule, right? Because everybody has him killing Cassidy. The Fonz battle, I always looked at as more of a contempt. I've been asking for that battle for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's a contemporary to kind of have a grudge going. So I would love if he took the Fonz battle before the year's out. But I know that he's been talking about really being like away from that battle. I think it will be great if this Cassidy shit's not going to go down, and that really matters to him, his year and finishing with quality. That would be a perfect pivot.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hey, talk to me about the people in the building right now. How do you think the people in the building are feeling right now?
Oh man, I mean, me, Smo, and even you, like we've been to events and stuff like that. And when we go to these events, we're expecting to see everything that we paid for. You feel me? Especially if you flew out. You know what I'm saying? If I was to go to Atlanta, that's a long ways away from where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me I'm flying out to an event? And mind you, people like us, some of us fly out maybe the day before, but it's usually a weekend situation. So we're flying out for the weekend, hotel, and all that, just to find out the day of that the main event's not happening. I'm pretty sure that the morale is going to be down or whatever. But there's a lot of hardcore fans that still gonna want to see Tay Rock battle, right? Still gonna want to see see a couple people battle, So not all hope is lost, but I ain't gonna lie, the morale is for sure down. Like
so, Lang, why is the morale down to what Lang said? If, in case in point, we all felt John was going to mollywop Cassidy anyway. So was it?
I mean, I still first. I mean, obviously, I'm not the biggest Cassidy fan, but Cassidy does have a lot of fans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that there's people that bought tickets to see him, people that bought tickets to see John. Like you're seeing
real BRC, right?
you're seeing a piece of history there. Right. I think it's kind of morale be down because your main event's gone. That's not acceptable. I saw somebody tweet at you earlier, like battles get canceled every day. 3, like shut up, just stupid ass up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? It's just crazy. I think that once the event gets going, because for us that have been to events in person, we know the energy is so much different than what it is online. People are very happy to be there. It's actually a lot of love. So hopefully, with still a pretty good card, you get some of that. I mean, shit, they are not even. Some people aren't even in line yet. You know what I'm saying? They're finding out it's canceled. They didn't even head to the venue. So, I can't speak for the building. I think it'll still be a solid event, like what comes out there. But I think it's more about the people going to watch the event. That was the spectacle from a business perspective that sells it. It wasn't competitive, but it brought eyes to it. So I think it's worse for outside of the camera than it will be inside of the walls of the venue. But, hopefully people still show up too. They got a big venue to fill out. So.
Oh man, this is crazy. I know the speculation why Cassidy didn't get paid. I don't know how people know this information. I'm not privy to know that information.
Hearsay only works for certain sides. If I want it to look good for Cassidy, all of a sudden hearsay works. But when people tell me what's in the contract, well, we don't know until we see the contract. It's some dumbass shit, man.
So, let me ask you a question, Lang. Do you feel Cassidy do you think he's really sick, or do you feel he was not prepared?
No speculation.
Sir,
I'm not gonna speculate.
My guy, we can't do that.
Nah, I'm not gonna speculate. I mean, you could be media. You could just say what's going on. Though what's going on is that the battle's not gonna happen, and all we know is all we know. That they released a press. But
was that man prepared, sir? Was he prepared?
I'm not gonna speculate.
Even if I think he's prepared, he might as well be unprepared. You book Cassidy largely in portion more than any other battle rapper for promotional reasoning. And you got the league owner saying it was in his contract. So to be real with you, whether he was prepared, not prepared, he already was not doing his job beforehand, and we can already see how he was treating this situation. So I'm not. Who cares?
Lang, do you want John and Fonz this year?
I've been wanted this year. I wanted it before. I wanted it right after Fonz battled Geechee, and John was standing right there. I wanted it then. So yeah, no, I've been wanted that battle. I didn't want John to end his year off a Cassidy battle. I was the one campaigning for John to take Cassidy and then take Fonz to close out the year. But
this is ugly. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
You know what's crazy? We doing this talk. It's gonna get worse. We haven't even gotten the event yet. We even gotten the post-event drama, the interviews where people really want to start. We haven't none of that. So it only gets worse.
You haven't even touched that surface.
Oh
as of yet, man. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Any last words before we wrap up this conversation, fellas?
Let's talk about a great event.
Let's
talk about something.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop it right now. Start over. Give me 2 minutes. I get this out, and we can talk about Winter Madness. All right, fellas. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let me get my guys about here right quick. 1 minute, fellas.